my God. Just
almost $1 million per team. Just for
and that's
no foam fingers, no pretzels, no hot dogs, no jerseys. That's just Teddy Bruce.
Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe for the girls. See, I can't dribble a ball, but I can fiddle with y'all eardrums. I'm the one.
What's up, Riley? You ready to talk about some sports today?
Hey, remember the first time you said that?
Yep.
Ready to talk about sports? Joe Bags messaged me and said Dunny has to do that every single time. He said he about pissed himself.
Perfect. I
That shit
will
was
add that
hilarious.
in.
We got some NBA, some MLB, and some NFL to talk about today. We had some play-in games last night we can get into real quick. We had the Hawks and the Heat. We really didn't think the Heat would take a L, but they looked like one of the worst play-in teams to date. They played a terrible game. The fact that it was even within 11 points is kind of big for them. The Hawks will be playing the Celtics Saturday, starting at 3:30. What do you think about that game?
Well, last night Trae Young actually showed up. DeJounte Murray was kind of hit and miss. We talked about how the Hawks are as good as Trae Young plays, right? If he goes off, they have the chance to beat anyone. If he struggles, that's when they get blown out, right? Jimmy Butler went off. You know, playoff Jimmy's different, but it just wasn't enough. The Hawks had the big lead in the first half. At halftime, I think they were up close to 20. The Heat came back, made it a game, but then the Hawks ended up pulling it out at the end. They go on to play the Celtics, so that's going to be tough because the Vegas odds are huge on the Celtics right now. So if you're looking, and if you're a Hawks fan,
What do they got them at?
Right now, I think the Celtics to win the series are minus 1,000.
Good God.
Right, so that's the biggest odds for the series that are already out so far. If you're a Hawks fan, you're really not looking forward to that matchup. But hey, again, if Trae Young goes off, who knows? Anything could happen.
Yeah, they're just happy to be there at this point. The mid-season they had, basically, they just absolutely mid. They barely, they struggled to go above 500 throughout the year with high expectations. DeJounte coming in. I don't think they exceeded any expectations whatsoever. I think they just limped into the play-ins, and then they had one of the better games of the year. So right now, they look okay, but you know what's coming ahead. You know, the Celtics at home, I highly doubt they're going to even cover. It'll probably be like 8, 9, 10-point spread. I would be very shocked if they stay hot and take even the spread away from the Boston Celtics the first two games.
No, I tend to lean on your side as well. I think it might, at most, a 5-game series, right? Maybe they sneak one game out, but I really think the Celtics might sweep them. Talking about Clint Capella is one of those players that I kind of shout out last episode. The man went off rebounds. I told you, he's a rebounder. That's all he does. And what he have?
Rebounds and dunks. He had like fucking 22 rebounds or some stupid shit. Just a ridiculous amount of rebounds. He had like 3 or 4 blocks that game, and he had like 2 or 3 in a row on Jimmy Butler. I was like, what the fuck is going on? He looks like Shaquille O'Neal.
Right. When he played for the Rockets, when he was with James Harden, he was good. Like, he would consistently average double-double. Early in the season, he was doing that for the Hawks as well. And then kind of in the right before, I think the Hawks got rid of their coach, right? Like about halfway through the season. They kind of started shifting his minutes away towards the bench. So he was playing like 16 minutes a game rather than the 25 minutes a game. And his stats were coming way down. So it was kind of crazy to see. But I'm glad he's back in the rotation, starting rotation. He's getting the minutes he needs. Look for him to give Robert Williams and Al Horford some trouble there in the Boston series.
Al Horford has got to be 40 years old. Like he seems like one of the older guys in the league. He's got to be like the least athletic starting center in the league.
No,
He shoots like Stoudemire, honestly. He looks like his game is just so old. He looks like he's playing at the park, 3v3 or something, you know? Like his game is extremely old school, but he doesn't have the Tim Duncan-esque where he can make it work. He just literally doesn't score many points unless they're open threes.
Open threes and then open rebounds. That's really all he gets. He's not fighting for rebounds anymore, right? Crazy to think about, like, he was with the Joakim Noah Florida Gators. That's the team he was on, right? Like, that seems like forever ago.
I'm telling you, bro. It was. That shit was forever ago. The other game last night was the Lakers and the T-Wolves, and the Lake Show did not look too hot for about 3.5 quarters.
No, I was like, oh my God, are they going to lose this game? Like, we just got done talking about how the T-Wolves are just a boss sitting on a bomb. They're exploding right now. They're missing their big guy. Their backup center was out for this game. We didn't even talk about that. And then McDaniels broke his hand. So, like, the Lakers had everything going for them. The T-Wolves had nothing going for them. And this game went to overtime.
Luckily for the Lakers, it went to overtime. It seemed like Minnesota had like some extra charisma. Like the people that were still like, fuck it, we're still, you know, trying to win this shit. We're still trying to get into the playoffs and finish the season strong. Like it seemed like they had a little more continuity together. Like they were playing more as a team for those first like 3-4 quarter or first 3 quarters. Like it just seemed like they were more of a team than the Lakers until the Lakers were like, oh, fuck, we actually might lose this game. And they kind of tightened down and got a little ticky-tack, free throws and foul calls in the fourth quarter. You know how that goes down in L.A.
Oh, yeah, you got to make sure LeBron's moving on, right? Like, the NBA, they know what's good for him. LeBron needs to be playing in the playoffs. What I was kind of crazy to see is that Anthony Edwards didn't really do much at all last night. And, of course, every single sports book had him on boost for this, boost for that. You could get LeBron, Anthony Edwards, Trae Young, and Jimmy Butler at 20 points for plus, like, 1-something yesterday on DraftKings. This is just trap lines all around. They knew he was hurt, and he came out and laid an egg.
Yeah, he really did lay an egg. He probably had more rebounds and points last night. I seen at one point he was like 1 for 6. He just didn't look like he was a threat on offense whatsoever watching the game.
Which is insane because he's one of the more explosive and fun to watch offensive players in the league right now.
For sure. I feel like this year he's just been on an offensive slump. Like last year, his line set at 2.5 threes a game. Like the guy's shooting the ball and he might dunk on you. Like that was the two-way, player that he was. Like he was very two-dimensional, and you thought like he was just going to keep getting better, especially with the big guys that they come in or bring in with Gobert and stuff. You would think it, spaces the floor out and he would have more opportunities to just go get a bucket. And this year, he just hasn't been able to do it.
Which is sad because the T-Wolves gave up a lot to build this team, especially with trying to build it around him and the Karl Anthony Towns duo. And it does not look like it's working out for them.
Yeah, they gave a lot of their future away for a big push this year. And they're fighting on the last game of the year, limping into the play-in tournament. Now they're on their very last game tomorrow or whatever to, end their season. And all that will just be wasted. I will tell you this. Cat looked good last night. Cat looked really good last night. If you watched, he was getting buckets. And he was making tough shots. Like he was a different Cat last night. He was getting fadeaway baseline, Kobe-esque shit over Anthony Davis. He played a hell of a game. It was kind of tough to see them take a L. He got foul trouble, some ticky-tack fouls. He was at 5 fouls at like 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. So they were kind of having to sit him, which helped the Lakers and AD get some points and get back into the game. It was a little shaky a little weird watching it, but you know, it is what it is. It's the NBA. We know how it goes.
Yeah, truthfully, the key for the T-Wolves is Karl Anthony Towns able to stay out of foul trouble. The first half he was, and they were dominating. Second half he started to, start smacking down and getting those tic-tac fouls called on him, and boom, here come the Lakers.
Yeah, and it's tough for him because you're guarding AD when he's in the game. So you have 2-3 fouls, they're just going to feed AD, and hopefully you get another one. Like, they're just going to keep feeding him, keep playing aggressive, physical, and Cat is, like, mentally soft. Like, he was just giving stupid fouls. They weren't, like, even shooting fouls. They were, like, positioning fouls in the paint and stuff. Just stupid ticky-tack, unnecessary, like, elbows and stuff that he was catching. And he was at, like, 25 points when he starts catching these ticky-tack fouls. It's just like, oh, that's unlucky.
It is sad to see the Lakers do force overtime, do come out and win. They didn't cover the 8.5-point spread, which we kind of talked about, how, it seems like a trap line because they should blow this team out that's struggling to get in health-wise and player drama-wise. But they move on. They get to go play the Grizzlies on Sunday, starting at 3 o'clock. That series line is a little interesting.
What is it?
The Grizzlies are favored. They're minus 140 for the series. The Lakers are at plus 120. It's the closest of any of the series in the NBA so far.
I like that. I like the Lakers being a plus. I think if the Lakers lose, the sports books are going to make so much fucking money. Is anyone thinking right now, like, Lakers are getting out of the first round, bang the plus money. Like, LeBron's going past the first round. That's basically, like, that's probably 90% of just, like, average bettors right now. If they see that line, they're banging the Lakers. It doesn't matter if Ja Morant's got a 50 cal. I don't care. plus money on the Lakers, bang.
Yeah, and like we talked about, going into the playoffs, the Lakers are hot. I was almost wondering if they were kind of looking forward to what's coming up next in the playoffs and overlooking the T-Wolves, so that's why they struggled coming out. But it is interesting to see because, the Grizzlies are that young, up-and-coming team. They play good offense. They play tenacious defense. They have one of the most annoying players in the league. They have one of the most athletic players in the league. And then they have
Dylan
arguably
Brooks, Ja Morant.
Yep. And then they have arguably the defensive player of the year in Jaren Jackson Jr. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it's probably going to be the best series of them all.
One thing that intrigues me is that the Lakers are going to rely on AD as they normally do, and you have two big men that are going to be able to share some minutes and play some good defense on them. It's not going to just be Cat. They kind of skated and didn't have to go against Rudy defensively or anything to give them some alleviation. So it'll be exciting to see those two young big men go against AD.
Yeah, between like Jaren Jackson Jr., right? I think Xavier Tillman and Steven Adams. I don't know if Steven Adams is back. I know he was hurt for a little bit.
Steven Adams is not back.
Okay.
Steven Adams will not be playing the first series at least.
That's huge.
No Aquaman.
Because if he played, that man is strong. He is strong.
He's a bully, bro. Yeah, he's strong.
He matches up with anyone. He plays good defense. He rebounds very well. Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to kind of be like, what Anthony Davis was in the beginning of his career. He's a stretch big who pick and pop. If you leave him open, he'll knock down a three, but can lock you down on defense too, which is it's going to be a fun matchup between those two.
All right, so I'm going to read you off these playoff series lines. I need you to give me one upset. We got the Sixers versus the Nets. The Sixers are minus 900. The Nets are plus 600. Celtics, Hawks, we already touched on. Hawks are plus 650. Cavs and Knicks. The Knicks are plus 165. Warriors and Kings, plus 220 for the Kings. Grizz and Mavs, or Grizz and Lakers. Lakers are plus 120. And the Suns versus Clippers, plus 370. Who do you got?
For one upset, if I had to pick one of them, right?
Just give me your favorite plus money upset.
The Knicks. And it's crazy to say.
The Knicks, plus 165 versus the Cavs.
Yep. The Cavs, they rely heavily on what Donovan Mitchell's going to do on the offensive end. They have Garland, but he's struggled this year playing the off-ball kind of thing. He's not ball dominant anymore. Evan Mobley's going to get his, 15 points. Jarrett Allen's going to get close to 10 and 10 rebounds. But for some reason, this team goes as Donovan Mitchell does. If he has an off game, or if the Knicks are able to slow him down or get him in foul trouble, he could have the game where the Cavs don't win, and then leads to where the series switches to now the Knicks have home court advantage. Julius can get you 50 any night. RJ can get you 30 on any night, and Brunson can get you 50 on any night. They have Emmanuel quickly coming off the bench. He's arguably the sixth man of the year. They have D Rose, who doesn't even play off their bench. They have Obi Toppin, who doesn't play off their bench. They have Evan Fournier, who's a three-point specialist, off their bench that doesn't play. Big man-wise, Mitchell Robinson can match up with Jarrett Allen. It's going to be interesting to see, but if I had to give you a plus money, I'd go the Knicks. My dark horse, if you're looking for a little bit bigger, a little bit more profound play here, would be the Nets, because I don't trust James Harden and Joel Embiid in the playoffs at all. But I would
think the Nets can beat the Sixers?
It's crazy to say, right? The Nets have looked terrible since trading away Kyrie and Kevin Durant. But, Mikal Bridges has been playing very well. Cam Johnson can get hot and do very good things on the offensive end. Claxton, their big guy, is a double-double machine. He can get 20 to 30 points a game. If he can slow down Embiid and the Sixers can't shoot the three ball, they rely on James Harden to try and beat James Harden from the Rockets, and I don't think he does it. So, potentially.
I like it. I think that series is literally dependent on the main star in each team. I think if Julius Randle shoots 3 for 19 on a night, they lose. And the same goes for the Cavs and D. Mitch. D. Mitch has been literally averaging 30 a night. He's actually a bucket in Cleveland. I do like the plus 165. I like the Knicks' momentum. I really do like Quickly. He's extremely fun to watch and super important coming off the bench. I'll roll with you on that one. I like the Knicks a lot too. If you're telling me, though, you think that the Nets at plus 600 versus the Sixers is better value than the Hawks at plus 650 versus Celtics. You think better chance for the Nets here?
Absolutely. The Celtics are a proven team that are going to dominate, and the Hawks are very reliant on one player. The Nets can at least play some defense, right? And the Sixers, time and time again, underperform in the playoffs. If James Harden is still battling his Achilles injury and Embiid gets hurt or doesn't have a good game, who knows? The Nets could win a couple and then make it a series. And then, hey, Doc Rivers, you struggle as a coach in crunch time.
Doc Rivers might do what Doc Rivers does and choke in the playoffs. I can agree with you on that. I think Doc Rivers is the biggest choke artist in coaching history when it comes to the NBA playoffs. He's lucky he got out of Los Angeles just for the memes, because he was never winning shit.
And they had a lot of good teams over there. With the CP3, the Dunk City.
Yes, they did. They had a loaded bench.
Right.
They had it.
Lob City, I guess, is not Dunk City, but Lob City over there.
Hey, it's the same shit. Lob City, Dunk City. I seen a prop on DK, I think. Who scores more points, KD or Kawhi in that series?
What's crazy is you can get KD at plus money, which I don't hate, right? I think Kawhi is minus 150 for that. I think you have to lean Kawhi because if the Clippers are going to do anything, if they're going to be competitive, Kawhi has to score 30 points a game. But that being said, Kevin Durant is going to get 25 a night. So it's like, do you go with the guy who could boom, right? Has to boom for his team, or the old reliable is going to get you your points no matter what? So plus money, it's not bad value for Kevin Durant, but I mean, your toss up right there. I would probably take the plus money over the minus 150 juice, but what do you think?
Attaboy, that's my degenerate right there. That's my degen. Give me the plus money. Fuck it.
Right.
Fuck it. If it's a toss up, give me the plus money. I agree with you. I like it.
The one series in this list that you just listed off for what the odds are, that is where the lower seed is favored, is the Golden State Warriors versus the Kings. Who are you taking in that? What do you think?
So it is interesting that the Kings had a better seed. They'll get Game 7, which it really doesn't matter because Warriors, like we talked about on the last one, it's basically home court traveling-wise. I think the Kings can win at least 2 games. I think this is a 6-game series at least. I don't see Kevin Looney and Draymond Green doing enough for 4 games straight. I think there's going to be a discrepancy with rebounds, points in the paint, something along the big man wise where they just kind of get conditioned. Sabonis goes for 25 and 15 type night. And I think I would never take the Kings to win it. I wouldn't say they're going to win. Don't quote me on that. I would take the Warriors at minus 275. But if there's another option for Game 6, I think it'll be a 6-game series.
I agree. I think the Warriors get it done, but I think Sabonis, because he is a machine. The man is like every coach's like dream, right? He's going to get you 20. He's going to get you 15 every game. But I think
we checked the X-ray. He's got that dog in him.
He does. He's got that little dog right there in the silhouette. But him, De'Aaron Fox are a fun duo to watch, pick and roll like crazy. And Sabonis is one of those bigs who finds open guys when he needs to. If the Kings are knocking down threes, who knows?
They got some shooters. They got some shooters.
Be a series.
Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, they can get hot and streaky.
Saw today, Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray are the second pair of teammates to make 200 threes and shoot 40% from three-point ever.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And
that's
Keegan Murray's
impressive.
a rookie. Yep.
That's probably like one of the only stats the Kings can hold on to.
Right. And shout out Mike Oglesby.
That's one of the only good stats.
For sending that to me.
He hit you with that stat? He is the King's Lord.
He is the King's Lord.
He's probably psyched right now that they're even playing how they are. I didn't even think about that.
Yep, the good old Oglesby. He loves the Kings. He's been on them for a few years now, and he's finally getting to see what the team could do.
Hey, I know Skip's going to really hate this podcast after seeing and hearing what you're saying about his 76ers.
That is true. Skip.
So you might see something in the Discord from that man.
Shout out Skip. Him and I have been watching the Sixers all year long. We really enjoy watching James Harden and Joel Embiid play.
You're still dogging them.
And I just don't trust them. As far as value, I think that's the value play, right? If you're looking for a super underdog to win, it's probably the Nets over the Sixers, just because of their track history. But if you're looking for if you can get a 4-0 sweep or a 4-1 win, I think you take the Suns over the Clippers because I do think the Suns are going to run them.
I like that. I mean, I don't think the Clippers have any momentum going into this. I don't think they are even expected to be one of the teams that are going to make it extremely competitive in the later rounds of the playoffs. So I don't think anyone will mind seeing that be a short series. I don't think anyone is even Clippers fans. If you're a Clippers fan, sorry.
Right. If you can get a bet where it says 5 games or under for this series, I think you take that, and I'm hoping it's going to be in the -1 somethings or plus money, where the Clippers might sneak out a game, but they don't win 2.
Right. Definitely not an away game.
For sure. No. Phoenix is taking all of the games in Phoenix.
What is the score to the game right now? It is currently 76-74 for the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Pelicans game. We're recording this at like 11 o'clock. Who do you have finishing this game? 78-74 right now.
Thunder. I mean,
SGA's at 17.
Right, like we talked about episode 4, the Thunder are a fun team to watch, and the fact that SGA is at 17 points right now in the third quarter, fourth quarter is SGA time. He's gonna get the ball. He's gonna go to the
facts.
There's no one. Well, him and De'Aaron Fox, there's 2 people that are no one better.
I was gonna say, missed their fourth quarters.
Yeah,
De'Aaron Fox as well for sure.
It's true. We got a little prize pick going on right now for that game, don't we? Me and you?
Yeah, let them know what we got.
We got, what do we got? Josh Giddey over 18.5 PRA for the second half, and we went to baseball pitches thrown. Clayton Kershaw over 14.5 in the, I think, 4th inning versus the Giants tonight. So we're hoping.
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
No? Oh, you checking it?
9.
It didn't? He threw 9 pitches?
9.
Oh,
9.
Rip, that sucks.
He might have got 2 strikeouts.
Yikes, he didn't do anything the whole game, and then there was 9 pitches on that. That stinks. Shout out to Evan Egan. He gave us a prize pick today. That was an absolute freebie. He took Jonas Valanciunas over 12 rebounds. The man hit it in the first half. He had 8 in the first 6 minutes of the game. Shout out, Evan. That was a great pick. I'm sorry that we couldn't come through for you for the rest of the parlay on Prize Picks. But
hey, he's still 1-0 on the legs. That's what matters.
He's 1-0. He'll be coming back.
He's 1-0. Yeah, he'll be coming back. We'll get him next time.
Definitely.
I respect it.
Who do you think's going to pull it out? OKC, Pelicans.
I want OKC. I think the Pelicans will pull it out.
Okay. All right.
I think BI right now is only at 12 points, 3 for 8. He'll probably finish shooting the ball 20 times tonight. We'll see within these last 5 minutes of the third quarter going into the fourth how the game's really going to shape out, I think. Lou Dort has 23 points right now, so.
Who? I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Giddey's got 18. SGA's at 17. The rest of the team has Dick.
SJ's at 17. You can get his live line 30.5 for plus money. This is where the degenerate me starts to come into play. If I see it under 30, I'm going to be looking to hit it. It'll be there soon.
Only every time you've ever live bet, you see SGA.
Yep.
Dunny is bricked up.
Every time.
It's respectable, though. Every time.
We tried to go for the MLB today.
MLB.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we did. Speaking of MLB, let's I seen a little stat earlier today about just the games being shorter. They're averaging about 30 minutes shorter than last year. And that 30 minutes per game throughout the whole year is roughly $280,000 to $1.1 million lost solely on beer. Just beer.
Oh, my God. Just
almost $1 million per team.
Just beer.
No, no foam fingers, no pretzels, no hot dogs, no jerseys. That's just Teddy Brewskis.
They're gonna have to change something, right? Like we talked about. They're talking about extending the.
Hey, they already did. Yeah.
Go ahead. What was it?
They already did. There's been 5 teams already that have upgraded being able to buy beer into the end of the 8th inning, where before, as soon as 7th inning starts, you're cut off. 7th inning was the cap for them, and now after the 8th inning, nothing before the 9th. So they've added, an extra 15, 20 minutes just to try to compensate a little bit and get some of that $1 million back throughout the year. So we talked about it, I think, episode 1 or episode 2, how this was going to affect the owners. And the owners were going to be the ones that had to make changes based off the new rules. And they were the ones that really were going to be affected because there's so many sales within the venue that you're losing for 30 minutes. And then you times 30 minutes by 90 games that you play at home, 80 games, 162 games, maybe you get like 70, 80 home. So you're losing out on just hundreds of hours of people not being able to buy merch. So you either raise the prices or you do what they just did and you give the fans an entire inning, an extra inning to compensate. So we'll see what goes on with that like throughout this year and then leading into next year, if it's like adopted by more teams or if it's just going to be like the greedy or the owners that are like more in touch and tune that are just like, yeah, let's just get beers for another inning. That'll help. That'll make everyone happier. We'll get more money. They'll get to drink more beers. Who cares? I did see someone at the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was pissing literally in the middle of the walkway to like or where you would walk out to your seat. He's just sitting there. There's like probably 20, 30 people recording him. He's sitting there just with his schwilly out, just pissing. And someone said, this is what happens when you get beer into the 8th inning. You get beer into the 8th inning, you get people pissing everywhere.
Well, that and you cut the game down, so
we'll
now
see,
I don't have time to go to the bathroom
happens
anymore.
Yeah, and you're drinking them so fast to try to get them in, You don't want to drink a $15 beer and then you don't even get drunk, That's a big no-no. We're spending $100 at the game. I'm getting fucked up.
What I hope the change is not that they're just going to raise the prices of everything, right? Because I think the whole premise of what they're trying to do is bring back people to the MLB, trying to rejuvenate that fan base, and raising prices I don't think is going to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what the viewership looks like as far as how many people are tuning into the games on TV or broadcast, that kind of stuff. And then how that offsets the $1.1 million in beer alone that they're losing per game. So that's just insane to me. That blew my mind when you said it earlier.
It's insane, buddy. Absolutely insane. Up to $1 million throughout the year you're losing. I knew the owners are gonna implement something so fast. It took 20 fucking games, and they already have just new changes happening. So hats off to them. Go get your money, you fucking greedy millionaires.
Yep. Speaking of the MLB, the Tigers, they're 2-9. We might as well recap on them because they're the local team, always repping the D. 2-9. So their two victories are against the Astros, who we already talked about were crazy. We just got done talking about how good the Astros are, how bad the Tigers are. They win 2 games. After that, they got swept by the Red Sox, and then they are in the middle of a series right now with the Blue Jays. They did lose yesterday. They lost today. But in both games, they had a run of 2 or more, or they had a lead of 2 or more, and then just couldn't hold on to it. So they blew both of the games. I think yesterday was 9-3 is what it ended up being, and then today went to extras. I think they lost like 5-4 or 4-3, one of the two. Really sad to see, but at least they're competing, right? That's what we kind of talked about throughout the first couple of episodes. If the Tigers are going to suck, we at least want them to compete, which it seems like they're doing. We just, hopefully those competitive games turn into wins more often throughout the season. But it's hard to do that when your highest paid player and your number 3 or number 4 batter in the lineup's hitting 100. Like, that is just absolutely atrocious.
What are you talking about? Javier Baez?
Yep, good old Javi Baez.
However you say his fucking name.
Javi Baez, shortstop.
Baez, yeah, dude, everyone hates him.
Yeah, I mean,
Joe Bax was talking about it. He hates him.
You have to, right? Like, the man is getting paid so much money. We went after him instead of other shortstops that were on the market, and he's hitting 100.
He's hitting 100. Yeah, that's tough. I might hit 100, you never know.
Right. Someone said that he needs to be hitting third or fourth for the Toledo Mud Hens, not the Detroit Tigers.
That's fucked up, dude. People are too quick with that shit.
They really are.
I respect it. So he's hitting 100, and
Yep.
he's hitting third or fourth every game.
Yeah, third or fourth every game.
I don't understand.
Me neither. It's crazy, Move him down. Move him to the 7th, 8th, 9th place in the lineup. See if he can, spark the bat and get going again. Then bring him back to the, top of the order. But for now, he's just killing us, right? When you get people on, then he can't do anything.
How long can you bat 100 before they take you out?
For him, because they're paying him so much money.
Yeah, for him specifically.
I think he'll probably play the whole season, which is sad.
Out.
Yep.
Well, if we're not competing for shit, you might as well just let him go up there and swing the fucking bat. Maybe you can get another hit or two for the rest of the year. Get some confidence going into next year.
For sure.
What a Chumley.
I agree.
How are the Tigers like relievers? Are we shitting the bed as soon as our starters are out, or are our starters shit as well?
Right. I don't know specific numbers right now off the top of my head, but it just comparing what these last couple of games have looked like, they are kind of shit in the bed, right? Like, we've had a 2-run lead. Either the starter or the first reliever that comes in has given up 3, 4, 5 runs in an inning, or back-to-back innings of multiple runs, which is what's costing us these games. I know in the Astros series, because I got to watch those games, we had the lead in those games, lost the lead because of the relievers, and then still pulled it out somehow. But, yeah, the relievers not looking the best, that's for sure.
Not relieving too much. Unlucky. Classic Lions relief. Or Classic Tigers release.
Right. I was asked to shout out the Erie Seawolves, the minor league affiliate for the Tigers, because last year they did win their division. Hopefully they can do the same this year, and we can get some talent to come up. But
hey,
who knows?
Yeah,
right?
Let the farm work, baby. If the majors ain't playing, just push us down a league. I'll root for the next guys, for the future of the Tigers. Fuck.
No, absolutely.
Give me something to cheer about.
Shout out Erie Seawolves.
Shout out Erie Seawolves. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Did you see the Lions getting rid of Okuda to the Falcons for a 5th-round pick? You see that?
Was crazy, right? Like, we just did these moves in the offseason. Everyone thought, okay, the draft board's set. We got the corners. We got the secondary down. We're going to rock with the 5-6 guys we have. We'll kind of platoon them as we need them. And we're going to take, interior D-line for sure in the first round. Maybe even a tight end in the first round. Now we trade Okuda to the Falcons. Right? Now we trade Okuda to the Falcons for a 5th-round pick. He was number 3 overall in his draft class. I think you had something to say about that.
His draft class, let's talk about it. His draft class, let's fucking talk about it. Literally 2 or 3 picks later, we get Justin Herbert on the board. We pass on him for fucking Jeff Okuda, who then we trade away for a 5th-round pick. That draft hurts me so fucking much. It's not as bad as Darko Milicic, but it's up there. That's top 5 for me. Just knowing that we were so close to getting rid of Stafford and we could have taken generational Herbert. I'm almost speechless just thinking that we took a corner that then we gave away a 5th-round pick for. At the end of the day, different owners or, different management for the players, but just looking back as a fan, it's so fucking disgusting. It takes me back to when we took Ebron over OBJ.
Yeah, that draft
Ebron
class,
over OBJ.
I forget who we took over Aaron Donald.
Why
but
are
I
we
think it might have
talking
been
about
Ebron.
this?
Right.
Oh my god, dude!
What's really sad is
on.
Jeff Okuda. He started out his season or his career, blew out his Achilles, so we didn't really get to see him play. And you're like, okay, is he going to be good? Is he going to be bad? this last season he was starting to actually play pretty good, right? He could, do things that he wasn't doing in the past that were showing signs of promise, and we were looking forward to seeing what he could do. But that last game against the Packers, someone pointed this out to me that he only played special teams. He wasn't playing on the first team defense anymore. So I wonder if even then the Dan Campbell, his staff, they kind of knew okay, this is someone that he's doing okay, but he doesn't fit our style or isn't buying into our premise for the team, so we need to get rid of him.
Yeah, it's tough to see. He's an Ohio State, ex-player, so I kind of knew he was going to get hurt and be shit. But, we took him anyways. So, knowing that he didn't play the last game of the year in his position, meanwhile, we knew we weren't getting into the playoffs. So, it tells me that we wanted to keep him healthy because we wanted to get rid of him. Not because we wanted him to win the game like we did with every other fucking starter we had. It was more like trade bait. Let's make sure we keep Okudah healthy because he's Okudah and he's going to get hurt. That seems like more of the thinking. Not maybe the hurt thing, but as the coaches not playing him in a starting position, and then nothing's talked about him all year. Nobody gives a shit. And then he's just gone for 5th round. That's it. Just the 5th round. It just seems like you were saying, they already knew at the Green Bay game that he wasn't going to be on the team in the next year.
I agree. So with that being said, what do you think they do in the first round? Do you think it brings in the possibility of us taking a DB now again?
I hope we don't take a DB in the first round, because I'm literally watching what we just did with the DBs, and then we signed DBs, we haven't brought up, or we haven't drafted a defensive back that just turned out to be a stud. So I don't know if draft is the way to go cornerback wise. Could we trade a pick and get a better cornerback on our board in the 3rd, 4th round? I think I would rather do that than take a cornerback in the first round. Just because I have PTSD from us taking Okudah and skipping over Herbert, That's where my mind is at. I'd rather get a 3rd round cornerback and get extra picks than take a 1st round cornerback and he busts in the next 3 years.
Okay.
More of a safe side, pussy side of it, but at the same time, I would rather not. I don't like cornerbacks 1st round. You're not going to get a Jalen Ramsey coming out of college, I don't think. The NFL is just a different league. It's too big of a step to just come in. There's not too many people that are going to be dude from Jets.
Sauce Gardner.
What's his name? Hall? Oh, or no. Yeah, Sauce. There's not too many Sauces that come into the league and make an immediate impact. He was the only one defensive back wise that did anything in that draft class, for the first 2 rounds. So I don't know if that's the way to go. You could always pick a good cornerback and he could be a fucking legend. But statistically, it looks like if we take a 1st round cornerback, we're not gonna be happy 3 years down the road.
This is the one thing I'll say is I would rather us take a corner or a safety that we think is going to be good than take a freaking tight end, because I cannot stand taking another tight end. We've done it 2 times now, and we don't have either of them on the team. So, DB, tight end, anything else, that's fine with me.
I'm with it. I want interior defensive linemen, linebackers. That's more where I am comfortable with us drafting high, because we have studs around the ball. We have studs on the perimeter of the defense. We need a corner now, but they have a plan in place already. Okudah was just the piece of that. Now we get a 5th rounder. We could take a corner in the 5th round. I think he is a 5th round player. I think that was a fair trade. I think we can pick up someone with his caliber that doesn't need a contract extension next year. we can get another 3 years to try to hone in a better cornerback. So I don't like the cornerback. I don't like tight end. I have PTSD from both. Can we just stay the fuck away from both of those position groups for just 1 year and see how it goes?
No, amen.
I'll be okay with it. I'd rather have us bust on any other players than a cornerback.
I feel you, and I mean, if you rings true to what you just said, right? Last year, if you look at our late end picks and how well they did contribution-wise to the team last year, we should have no problem picking up a talent-wise, same as Jeff Okudah.
Exactly. I don't think that he was too big of a guy in our team that we really needed wise. I think defensively we didn't rely on him to just man up and lock down half the field. So give us a 5th round pick. We have an ass load of picks already, and just see what we do. I'm okay with it as long as we don't go super high end tight end, cornerback, weird shit. We'll see. The Lions are weird. We know that they're gonna make some moves in the draft. They have too many picks and too much talent around them right now to not try to make a move and work their way up the board or work their way down the board and stack up on a lot of picks, because they think, and they have been picking pretty damn good. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and just let them do what they do.
Amen to that. It's another team that is looking for things to do with their draft picks right now and why things are kind of held up. The good old New York Jets and the Aaron Rodgers situation. What do you think?
What? I honestly don't know what the fuck's even going on. What's taking so long? What's up with the draft situation? What is going on? Do you have any insight on the Jets? Because I really don't know. I'm confused at the moment.
So everything that you hear is that the Jets and the Packers both know that the trade is going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the Jets, but the Packers want the Jets' first overall pick for this draft, but the Jets don't want to give that up for Aaron Rodgers. So if you look at it, last time when the Packers traded Brett Favre to the Jets, they only gave up, I think, a 3rd or 4th round pick. And I think that's kind of what the Jets want to do again for Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers is wants
That's highway robbery.
Potentially, though, right? He's 38 years old.
A 3rd or 4th round pick for Aaron Rodgers. You seen what he was doing with middle school receivers, dude. You seen what the talent he had around him in Green Bay. He's making fucking Dubes look like Randy Moss halfway through the year.
I get it.
Rookie of the year type shit, and they couldn't even make it to the playoffs. Give him some good receivers. I think he'll be fine.
But if you look at it, Aaron Rodgers already said, I want to play for the Jets. The Packers already said, we're going with Jordan Love. So what do they have that can say?
There's no leverage.
There's no leverage. Thank you for the word there. If Aaron Rodgers shows up to your OTAs and your training camp because the season starts and he's not dealt, that's just going to be more drama for your team. You're not moving on unless you deal him. And they said that they'll wait all the way till draft day, but I think it has to get done before then.
I'm just confused. There can't be a stalemate, like you're saying. There can't be a stalemate for either organization because they're in limbo. Jets don't have a quarterback. Green Bay already moved on organizationally. Everyone and their fans have already moved on. The era is over. They already said it. The era is over. So, how long is this going to happen? How long are you going to push this, going forward? You have the draft and your draft board. If you don't have a quarterback, you're drafting a quarterback. So, they have to get it done before the draft, or else their whole draft board is just, misaligned. Imagine working in that, in the draft prospect room, and you're trying to figure out the board, and you don't even know if you have your fucking quarterback yet. And It's not just the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, you're trying to figure out if you're going to go after the fucking division this year or not.
You're absolutely
So that's
correct.
crazy. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens. I think, like you said, it's already a done deal, whatever. But I would be super surprised if they don't have to give up a first round.
Time will tell, right? Like all things will happen, but I don't know. For some reason, I think it's going to be a second round pick.
I feel you. I don't want to specifically put him in this category, but a player that reminds me of kind of the situation, different sports, like Chris Paul. Like, you're not getting Chris Paul for a third, fourth round, even though he is, we don't like him around here, his ass. But when he did get traded, you're not thinking that he's not going to get sent away for at least the first or a couple seconds.
I tend to agree. I don't know that the Packers can hold on to him, so I don't see the Jets budging. That's the one thing. That the Packers are going to have to pay him so much money if he comes to any practices.
Yeah, they'll probably have security not letting him into practice. They're not paying him that much. They're not paying him any more money. They're done with him. They're not printing any more Aaron Rodgers jerseys for next year. They're not doing any of that. They don't care. Looking at the Jets division.
Yep.
Looking at the Jets division. Sorry to cut you off. We got the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Pats. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, and when he does, where do you put him in that? Where do you put him in that division?
That's tough to say. I don't know. I think that the Jets would probably be the second team in the division. I think the Bills still beat them with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. But I think Tua is unknown, right? You can't count on him because one more hit and he could be done for good. And then the Patriots, that organization's in turmoil. I don't trust them as far as you can throw them. So I would naturally just put the Jets to 2. But that defense looked very good last year. If Aaron Rodgers comes and starts balling out, Breece Hall is back and running the ball like he was last year, they could very well, take one game for the Bills and then force that really close who's going to get it at the end of the year kind of situation.
For sure. They got Wilson and Lazard, too, so they have weapons along with a good running game, a couple backs. I am in the same boat with you. I don't think they'll finish first. I don't think they'll finish last. I think they'll be second or third. I initially have the Dolphins over them. I think that their records are going to be close. I think they're a toss-up 2 or 3. But I don't have them winning the division over the Bills at all. And I don't have them doing worse than the Pats. I think the Pats are on a pretty significant decline, especially with like the Mac Jones turmoil inside the offensive camp. There was a lot of talk last year and a lot of shit on the sideline of him bickering with Patricia and all that, just pissed off about their play calling. And I don't know. We'll see how that goes. You don't even know if it's going to be him or Zappi at this moment, right? I don't even think they have the starter named. I don't even know if Mac's going to be their guy. So
Bill Belichick's been out there shopping Mac Jones around. Like that's come out recently. So
I heard that. That's tough to hear if you're Mac Jones, because he's pissed off. Like, hey, coaches, organization, can you guys fucking help me out? Can we get some good play callers? Can we get some good receivers? We have no receivers. And then they're like, yeah, you're the problem. We need to get rid of you. Like, what the fuck is going on?
We're going to need to actually move a different direction.
Yeah, we need a different direction. We don't really like what you're saying. All right, let's cap this thing off. I have a top 5 for you. Top 5 sporting events, past, present, and future.
Okay. All right.
Past, present, and future. Top 5 sporting events. I got mine. Let me know what you got.
You want to go first or second?
I'll go second. You go ahead.
Okay. So, past, present, future. I left out Michigan versus Ohio State because I've already been to a Michigan-Ohio State game. It's not on my bucket list anymore, right? That's done. But here we go. Number 1, Kobe's retirement game. I stayed up watching.
God, I forgot about that.
I stayed up watching that game. It was the ultimate end to a career. He was a killer and I wish I could have been there.
Dude, everyone was there. Literally everyone and their brother was there. Every famous person ever was at that fucking game.
If I ever see it on ESPN, like they show the old games, I'm watching it every time. It was magical. I loved watching that game. Number two,
that fourth quarter was something special.
It definitely was. Number two, the first 16 seed over a 1 seed, UMBC versus Virginia. I remember jumping up and down, rooting for that to happen. I could not imagine being there. Number three, I have Trey Burke versus Kansas. That tournament game, he went over in the first half and then scored all 23 points in the second half with that 30-footer right before the buzzer to just kind of just absolutely insane. I think I was in Tennessee watching that game down in Memphis with my family, and I could not believe it because I looked at the score in the first half. Oh, we're losing. Looked at it again. I'm like, holy crap, Trey Burke, you're the man. Number four.
After seeing the shot, I would have ripped my pants off. I would have ripped my pants off and started running, dude. After the shot, no fucking way.
Yep, Beeline sitting there like, oh, all right, it went in. Perfect. There we go. Number four, I have the Red Wings versus the Avalanche, that fight game where they,
goalie
seek
fight?
revenge. No, they seek revenge. They got it. That would be awesome to watch because there were so many fights in that game. If I'm going to a hockey game, the one thing I'm always cheering for is fights. Let me see the action.
100%. That's the best part about hockey games is people on the boards and people fighting.
Every time I root for it. And then the fifth one, the one game that I want to go see, UNC versus Duke. Preferably last game of the season. Both teams are right there playing for the ACC championship game. I would love to watch it. I don't think there's anything better in college basketball.
For sure. If you go to that game, you better bring Warner or he might have your head.
Oh, he would definitely have to know that I'm going in advance. Like, hey, I don't want to spring this on you. We're going to the game.
100%. He is the biggest Duke fan I've ever known, and he's never been there once, so that'd be dope. I agree with you on the UNC Duke game. My dad actually asked me earlier this year, like, if there was one game you could go to, like, next year or whatever, what game would it be? And he thought I was going to say like, Michigan, Ohio State, and I was like, Duke, UNC, in Chapel Hill. Like, just get me there. Just get me there. Let me feel those vibes just one time.
Absolutely, it would be electric.
I like that. Let me start you off with mine. I don't have them in any order, but the five I have: Tiger winning Augusta, seeing that chip in, pants ripped off, gone. I don't think you could. There wouldn't have been enough beers in that place to keep me back after seeing that, dude. I would have been running to the next hole.
Riley's kicked out of Augusta.
Yeah, that's number two. Number two, actually, Tyson biting off Holyfield's ear. Get me there. That's history. Let me be there. Let me see the ear. Come on, that's got to be in the top five. That is one of the craziest moments in sports history. Number three, Alabama, Georgia conference title game. Just get me there. Let me feel the atmosphere. I went to the Michigan Georgia game 2 years ago, and I could not believe the Georgia fans. Like, I have never heard anything in my life so fucking loud and, like, together. Like, they were all on the same page, chanting the same shit. Like, Michigan fans just had nothing to compete with. Like, Georgia off the rip was absolutely insane. So I could only imagine a Georgia-Alabama with their fans, if it's in Tuscaloosa or even if it's in neutral field. Top three for sure. I think that would be elite.
SEC
Number
football
four,
is life
Tom Brady
now.
versus the Falcons. Oh, 100%. Football is life for the SEC. Number four was Tom Brady versus the Falcons Super Bowl comeback. I don't think any time in history I would rather be. I think that is number one for me. I think I would want to be there more than anything. So I'd be supporting the Patriots, and then just to see the fans' faces that fourth quarter. Like, people were celebrating at halftime like their cash-out tickets. Bet openly, Gio, he had the Falcons that night. You ask him what's his worst beat ever, he's just gonna roll his eyes and he's gonna say the Falcons, and you know what fucking game I'm talking about. He was celebrating, buying champagne and shit already before the game ended, bro.
No.
Sickening. The number 5, this is future, Michigan in any national title game, basketball, football, I don't care. If I could go see Michigan in a national title game, that's making my top 5 every time. I thought about putting the Lions because they never fucking made it, but I wanted to be a little more realistic, so I went with Michigan.
Or at least good for one every 10 years.
Exactly. Hey, let's roll off one more top 5 that I wanted to talk about. Top 5 beers.
Okay.
Top
Let me
5
hear your
beers.
list first.
All right, let me get you the list. Where is it? All right, my top 5 Teddy Brewskis all time. Number 1, a free beer. I don't care if you drink Coors, Bud Light, Busch, Budweiser. Someone hands you a free beer, that's the best beer you could get. Number 2, a cold beer. Doesn't matter what beer it is, but if it's cold, it's fucking good. That's got to be top 2. It's a free one, then a cold one. Leisure activities, number 3, we got golf. A golf beer. I don't care if it's 7 in the morning or 4 p.m. We tee off, there's going to be a crack of a cold beer.
On the course.
We're cheersing, and it doesn't matter if every ball goes in the woods. That beer alone is top 3. It's cold, nice day out, you're just looking around, top 3, undoubtedly. Number 4, early tailgating beers. You're tailgating from 8 o'clock to noon, 7 o'clock to noon. That first beer, you look around, you know you're not supposed to be drinking a beer. It's 7 in the morning, but everyone else has one. There's no better feeling. You just feel together, drinking a beer, being a degenerate at 7, 8 in the morning. Number 5, after a long week of work, that Friday you get home and you know you don't have to work tomorrow, cracking open that first cold beer out of the fridge, nothing beats it. That's the top 5 for me. You can't go wrong with any of them, but you got to appreciate them all.
You definitely killed that list. I wish now that I could have stolen a few of those because those were great. I did not think about them. But I will give you my 5. The first one I put down was the shower beer. So this isn't one that you mentioned, but you know you're going out. You know you're going to get ready. All right, get in the shower, crack the cold one. Nothing better. Number 2.
You got to get primed. The shower beer is a primer.
No, it really is. Like you know you're going out. Okay, we're getting in that mood right now. But number 2, you kind of
let's get the ball rolling.
You kind of teed off on it with the tailgate beer, the first beer of the day. I did the game time beer. So you get into that seat, you just sit down, you crack in that cold one, boom, all right, time to go. Let's watch the game. Number 3.
I fuck with that.
Number 3 is the Friday after work beer. So either you're going out to meeting everyone at the local pub, or you're getting home and finally cracking the cold one. But it is 100% deserved after a long 40.
Top five for sure.
Number 4, the airport beer. You know you're going on vacation. Ooh. It's time to get in that. It's time to get in that mode. It costs $1,000 to drink one, but you know you're getting an airport beer. And then the last one that I went with is the hot tub beer. So this isn't one that I typically do, but on vacation, you're going to get in the hot tub. If you take some brewskis with you, you have them next to the hot tub, you go, the feeling is amazing. Or we had a hot tub at the parents' house, so the TV on right next to the hot tub, we're watching the game, we're drinking out of the hot tub. There's nothing better than that. Relaxing. It could be cold, it could be hot, it doesn't matter. I'm getting in the hot tub, I'm having a beer.
Hey, I got to experience that with you one time on the Rents back deck. That was elite.
It is. It is.
Having beer in the hot
unparalleled.
tub is just a good combo. It's just a money combo. You're sweating your ass off dehydrating. You might as well double the fuck down and dehydrate some more.
You get out after 20 minutes, you're like, oh, damn, I'm feeling it.
Facts. Wobbly legs. That's respectable top 5. I think the after work beer is just a guaranteed. I think everyone can feel you on that one.
For sure. Absolutely. You have to have it.
Alrighty, let's wrap this thing up. It's been about an hour. It was good
All right.
top 5s, good conversations. I hope everyone is having a good week, and we really do appreciate you guys supporting us on all platforms. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We just appreciate any and all supports, likes, comments, follows on YouTube. Greatly appreciated. It helps us out a lot more than you guys would even imagine. So we just wanted to say thank you from the Third Leg Podcast. We appreciate you guys, and much love to anyone and everyone listening.
Absolutely. If you guys have any topics you want to hear about, or if you have top 5s of your own that you would like to, hey, how about you guys do a top 5 on this? I'm down for it. I like doing this segment, so might be something we continue to do going forward.
For sure. Anytime you guys can tag us, shoot us a DM, message us, anything, any way. All of our DMs are open on all of our social media accounts. So if you got anything to say, any comments, questions, or concerns, just shoot it over to us. We'd love to be more involved with the listener. So we appreciate you guys again. That's going to do it from us from episode number 5 of the Third Leg Podcast. We will see you guys again shortly. Appreciate it.
Adios.
Another one for Tommy boy. Another one for the world. Another one for the listeners. And maybe